Welcome to Dew Champions.
Listen up. All you ever asked for is an opportunity. You got it today. Where else would you rather be than right here, right now?
Yeah!
Come on with it, baby!
Yeah!
And an uncontrolled outpouring of just young people.
The sharp insight, Randall Cypher scheming chess moves all night. Alex Miley, big dumb animal raw, smashing hot takes through the studio door. Stats get funky, narratives get thrown through champions media, Buffalo combat zone. Buffalo combat zone. Be there, crowd chant, let's go Buffalo.
For the best Italian food in Western New York, Elliot Apollos, call 716-825-3675. The Lardon Construction Group.
Fubo TV, the official streaming service of Dew Champions. FanDuel, the official sportsbook of Dew Champions.
For all your summertime needs, beauty pools, as well as kayak pools.
CX Chronicles, your total customer solutions focused manager. W.GG, the official energy drink of Dew Champions.
Hey, Sons of Erie, our artwork looks better on your walls. Hamburg Brewing, please visit our tap room on Boston State Road, Hamburg, New York. And finally,
Fat Boy Surf Club for all your surfing needs.
Welcome to another episode of the Buffalo Combat Zone. I'm your host, Alex, and Miley just showed up. Please like, share, subscribe. What's up, buddy? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Maybe you can't hear me. Okay.
Hello?
You got me?
Yeah. It's mixed up.
You got me now?
Yeah.
All right. Today we're going to go over the top 10 rankings at each position voted on by the execs. And is it just execs and coaches?
Yeah, the only ones we can't do yet are wide receiver and safety. Those have not been released yet.
That's fine. We wouldn't show up on the wide receiver ranking anyway.
Safety we might get. I mean, you might get like a vote or like an honorable mention for DJ Moore, but probably not. And then safety, Cole Bishop might get like an honorable mention.
Yeah, I think so.
Or yeah,
that sounds about right. We'll go into them. I think we need to give a special shout out though. Today was released that Lamar Jackson's number 69 on the list. A really cool number, and might be a little high for him, right?
I love it because Baltimore Ravens fans are the worst people on planet Earth than the sports fandom. And the sports fandom world, they are the worst people out there. I hate them with every bone in my body, and I want them to have as much pain and suffering as possible. So when I saw that, I just laughed. And I have no ill will towards Lamar. He's a great player, but that fan base just flat out sucks.
I think it's hilarious. I mean,
yeah.
There's no one in their right mind would have him at number 69 for real, right? I mean,
he's a top 10, 15 player of the league, yeah.
Top 10 for sure. Maybe 15 if we're throwing in, I mean, there's other players that pop up in there that maybe push him down a little bit like they do Josh every year. But, I mean, come on, dude. 69 is really low. It feels like a troll job on the Ravens fans. It really does. It feels like they're being trolled right now.
I mean, it's also possible because of, like, it's – voted on based on just the one season alone, and he was injured and wasn't great when he did play. So that could be why. He was probably about the 70th best player last year because of his injuries and whatnot. But usually reputation precedes you. So, like Aaron Rodgers when he played 4 snaps and was 91. So
yeah, for sure. I mean, he's not. I mean, he did not play up to his standard. I mean, he had a good game against us. And then after that, he wasn't very good after that. So, but I think that's a lot worse.
Derrick Henry also ran for 200 yards. So,
Yeah, there was a
I
fade
get it.
off by Lamar. Even when he got back, he didn't feel like he was the same to me personally.
Yeah.
So that's I think that's part of the reason why as well. He's clearly a top 5 quarterback. We'll talk about that here in a second. Do you want me to share do you want me to share my screen, or did you actually get the rankings done like on a notes or no?
I sent them in. Yeah, you're gonna have to share your screen. I
That's
sent them
fine,
in the group
perfect.
chat to try and put them on as a graphic.
Yeah.
But I
fine.
can also keep it on my at least have it on my phone to look
Yeah,
at.
we're fine. I'm gonna pop it in there right now. All right, I'm gonna zoom in because this is crazy blurry. There we go.
Yeah.
All right, we got it. All right, we see that, right? Yeah, we see
Yeah.
that. That's the best. He's 4th as his lowest rank. That's a hater. Put him at 4th, probably behind Joe Burrow or some trash like that.
Yeah, like Skip Bayless thinks Josh Allen sucked in the playoffs, so Joe Burrow should be 1. Joe Burrow didn't make the playoffs for 3 straight years, but yeah, he should be 1.
And let's be honest. Josh's playoff game is highly overrated. I'm sorry, overhated for sure.
He had
you take away 2
god
plays.
awful plays. Like they were
amazing outside of that. By the way,
they were, and those 2 plays. I'm not going to.
And really, it was one really bad play. The other one was just like a misread. Like you could tell they weren't on the same page. You know what I mean?
The interception was just a terrible throw.
Yeah, it was a bad throw. But I'm saying they weren't on the same page. It wasn't like. Yeah. If he had that one throw and didn't have the stupid fumble at the end of the half, I would still say like that was an awesome game. You know,
you're right. It's that one fumble because it's like it lives in infamy. So everyone's then they look at 4 turnovers and see that fumble when one of the turnovers he was blindsided and it was on Dion and Shakir and Brady for having Shakir chip block, and then the throw to Cooks was perfect on the money. You could debate whether that's a catch or whatnot. I mean, I honestly I think. Based on the rule books, I think it was an interception. I think the rule sucks. It's a terrible rule. It's so like ticky tacky. It's stupid. But based on the rule, I think it was an interception. But either way, that's not on Josh. Brandon Cooks is paid to come down with that ball. Yeah. Drops it right in the bucket. And people are like, "Oh, we underthrow it." On a throw like that, you don't want to throw it to them perfectly right in stride with the defender right on his hip. You're kind of trying to almost hope to get PI there.
It wasn't a super underthrow either. It was a perfect throw. Like, I'm sorry, you could have let him a little bit more, but he didn't have that much space on him anyway. There was no like space, he wasn't
where Cooks
separating.
could make an adjustment, and it's better to underthrow there where you could get a potential PI than you overthrow and it's just an incompletion, and then we would have been punting anyways.
Right. I don't mind. I would have interchanged Josh and Pat. I just think, just generally speaking, I think that's probably the right play because Patrick is I think he has enough cachet at this point. But they're the top 2 players, in my opinion, for sure.
Yeah. Josh just hasn't done enough to overcome
Stafford is 3rd. I agree with the top 3.
It's funny because I love Stafford.
Played better than him last 3 years, which he has.
He went severely underrated to now he's overrated. And all that changed, I think Stafford's success the last couple of years, I don't think it's him playing any better. His situation just got better. I thought the way he played 2 years ago when he dragged that team that was 5-12 the year before into the wild card and then went in Detroit and had that amazing playoff game and they lost. And then last year kept that team above water when they were missing their entire offensive line and basically every single receiver on the team. And it was literally just him, Kyron Williams, and like Tutu Atwell. That was his group and backup and practice squad offensive linemen and kept them afloat. I thought he was just as good as then as he was this past year. The difference this year is his offensive line stayed healthy and they added Devontae Adams and you saw his numbers skyrocket. And I think when I thought he's been like about the 5th or 6th best quarterback in the league for a couple of years now, and it hasn't changed. But because he put up those gaudy numbers last year, people now think Stafford's this top 3 guy, which he's just not. He's not enough of a dual threat. He's a complete statue in the pocket. He's a negative as a runner. And I get passing's more important for a quarterback, but in this day and age, a quarterback who can move and throw, it just makes you light years more valuable.
Right. I think that there's a little overrating, but I also think that based on like kind of the dynamics of the quarterback position in the NFL, I don't have a problem with being 3.
I mean, Stafford's my 2nd favorite QB in the league, so I don't have a problem.
I can't put him behind Joe Burrow. He's beaten Joe Burrow in the Super Bowl, and Burrow doesn't get to the playoffs very often. Lamar is a historic choke job every year. I mean, I don't know who else you put in that conversation. I don't think Herbert has enough of credibility yet. I mean, I just think there's a lot of ifs there, but I don't have a problem with being 3. He's in my top 3, just generally speaking. Now, could he fall off this year? Absolutely. He's 38 years old, dude. He's getting up there. You know what I mean?
I think it's kind of partly the McVay effect, though. I mean, you saw how good he made Jared Goff look for a couple of years in that elite system. I think Goff's very overrated. The only time Goff has ever looked like a good quarterback was when he had Sean McVay calling plays and then Ben Johnson calling plays. Like that doesn't with elite running back, elite offensive line, a great slot receiver, like in dream situations he's looked good. Oh, that doesn't move me. And I think kind of like with Stafford is his arm is top 3. I'm not going to argue that.
Sure.
If it's just based on arm, it's Allen, Mahomes, and Stafford.
They're on the top 3. Yeah, exactly.
But the fact that Stafford is a complete statue and a negative as a runner, I think that kind of limits game planning a bit.
I think there's a gap.
And I get Lamar as like been a complete choke job, but he has never had a situation anything near what Stafford had this past year. And Burrow, it's a toss up. I do have Stafford.
I wouldn't.
Above. I have Stafford above Burrow.
I wouldn't put Burrow ahead of Lamar either.
I'm also just Lamar's better than Burrow.
Yeah, I don't see why there's 4 here. I know they keep giving him like Burrow is the most like what if player we see. Like he's such a throwback to like your old Brady's and Mannings and those types of players. Maybe a little more mobile, less arm strength than all those guys. By the way, if you see him the flag football game he played in with Brady and all them. Brady at almost 50 years old has a way better arm than Joe Burrow does currently, and Brady's not known of his great huge arm. You know what I mean?
It's just when you can, like Joe Burrow, his skill set works really well for the fact that they have Jamar Chase and T. Higgins.
He's a good quarterback. I'm not saying he's not.
Exactly.
No one else has that.
Yeah. Is like always offensive line's bad, but when you can sit in a bad pocket when you have wide receivers like that because you can just let it rip.
You just throw it up in the air like you did to Higgins.
Yeah, and they're going to come. And exactly. Higgins can come down with it, or just Jamar's usually open by then.
Yep. Lamar 5. I think Lamar should be 4, but whatever. You can hedge your bet.
I have Lamar at 3.
I think Burrow's that's fine. I could put Lamar ahead of Stafford too, just based on like how much he impacts the football game by himself. Right. Yeah. So like you're probably right. Like I probably have Lamar 3 and then Stafford 4, and then Burrow is close at 5. But I have him. I think Burrow's better than Dak. Dak. I think this is a little high for Dak.
Burrow is basically just a better version of Dak. They're similar type QBs. Burrow is just better. He's more consistent.
He's more accurate, right?
Yeah.
He's got I'd say Dak's probably got the better arm in terms of strength. I think Burrow's a little bit more like pocket mobile. Does that make sense? Yeah. Like he's more agile in the pocket, you know. And
Burrow's
he's smarter
definitely
player.
Much better poise and much better under pressure.
Yeah.
That's what
Dak gives you the same thing like you know what Dak is. You never see like a different version of Dak. He doesn't really he's pretty consistent as long as his weapons are there. Herbert, it sounds right. I don't know. Like you're higher Herbert than me. Yeah, you're higher
on Herbert than most people.
Yeah, I put like 7 or 8 on him. I just don't know
if I have Herbert at 4.
Yeah, I just got to see it, man, more than just like he needs to win me a playoff game and then we can have a conversation.
I completely understand that. I just kind of look at it from the who impacts more on the football field, and I just think Herbert impacts definitely more than Dak.
There's some games
more
though.
Than Burrow.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, the thing with Herbert's problem is that he has some stinker games where he just doesn't carry the team on his back either. Like, games where Allen's stat line isn't great, but you still watch the game and you're like, he just put the team on his back. He had an iffy game, but like he's the only reason they were still in it. I don't ever really when Herbert has this clunker game, he has a lot of games where I see him get like 120, 130 yards passing, throughout his career,
Yeah, but a lot of times those games are his wide receivers had 7 or 8 drops.
Yeah.
And his running game is completely not like
sure.
There's a lot of times other quarterbacks they can have kind of not as good games, and you can kind of hide it a little bit. Like even Allen the last 2 years, if he's not on, we can run the football.
Yeah,
Herbert's just never been able to do that.
I'm a Drake. I mean, I don't like Drake. I like him as a person. I think he's a good kid. I just don't like him because these are the Patriots. But I think 8 sounds right based on what he showed us last year. I mean, I don't know.
Good.
That could change though. Like I could see him going from like 8 to like 15 next year, right? Kind of like a CJ Stroud situation. That could easily happen to him. I'm not saying it will.
I absolutely love it.
Yeah, I would love it, but I need to see the consistency there. Until he gives me like 2 consecutive years, you can't put him in the top 5. If he did another year like he did last year again, I got to put him in the top 5 probably.
Yeah, probably.
If you have back-to-back years, so that's me giving him a lot of credit. Jared Goff's probably a little high here in my opinion.
I think he's very high.
Yeah, the next 2, I mean, Caleb Williams, I wouldn't put him at 10 either. I think that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I think that it's silly we keep doing this with him. Like, there's a ton of rankings. I always have him in the top 10. I'm like, this doesn't make sense. I'd have Sam Darnold over both of them. I'd have Jaden getting hurt. I don't love that. Jordan Love, I'd have him up.
With Caleb, it just still feels like complete projection from him being the number 1 overall pick. Because last year he was the number 1 overall pick, and then he showed a lot of cool flashes last year, and people are like, oh, he must be this really good. But like down to down, he's just not consistent enough to be a top 10 QB.
I definitely would put Jordan Love ahead of those guys. I think Sam Darnold's in their bucket, but I think that I would probably put Sam ahead just because of he kind of, that Sam knows who he is. He knows what he's going to do and what he's not going to do. And Caleb is just unpredictable. I'd rather have a predictable player. And then maybe Brock Purdy, but just based on just pure, like, he wouldn't be in my top 10, but I might like him more than I do those other 2 guys, generally speaking.
If you guys do want to see a more in-depth breakdown, a couple weeks ago we did do our top like 35 QB ranking where we really went in depth with it.
Yep. All right, we're going to running backs now. I haven't looked at this, by the way. This is my first time. I saw the quarterback one. I didn't pay attention. I paid to the interior offensive line, the tackle one also, but that's the only 3 I looked at. So
I think the running back one is actually pretty good. I actually don't have a lot of complaints on the running back one.
All right. Bijan, okay.
Yeah, Gibbs. He was the best running back in football last year. Gibbs, that makes sense too.
That's sense. Those are probably top 2. I got Saquon's getting up there in age for a running back. He's 29.
Yeah, no, Saquon, he wasn't a top 3 running back last year, but he also was absolutely insane the year before, so you give him a little bit of leeway there.
But he faded a little bit last year, so I'd almost put McCaffrey
part of it was offensive line, but McCaffrey also wasn't. McCaffrey just got an insane amount of targets.
He gets hurt all the time, dude. Yeah. Like, I mean, throughout his career anyway.
McCaffrey was very inefficient on the ground last year.
Yeah, for 3.9 per carry. Jonathan Taylor at 5. I have some issue with this. I'm not.
I mean, the way he was absolutely letting the league on fire until like their quarterback became Sam Ellinger.
Yeah, and then Henry is getting older.
He made Daniel Jones like look good.
I feel like James Cook has to be in top. I put him 5th, honestly, but that's my personal take on it. Maybe maybe the impact is less with Cook than it is with a Henry when Henry's fully going. But I don't think Henry is going to be Henry anymore. I think he'll be fine. I just don't think. I think this is the precipitous fall off for him as a running back at 32 years old.
My thing with James Cook is it just kind of I obviously I'm a Bills fan. I like James Cook, but I felt he's a tad bit overrated. I think around 7 works because we haven't seen him put it together fully as a receiver. He's had some fumbling issues.
True.
And then I think his success as a runner, I credit a lot of it to our elite offensive line and then scheme. Like you really saw James Cook take a bump. Like he really started to come into his own once Joe Brady took over from Ken Dorsey. Mm-hmm. Now, part of that is because Ken Dorsey was an idiot, but you really saw just the way Joe Brady was scheming up the running with the help of offensive line coach. Mm-hmm. I'm blanking on his name for some reason.
You mean we just lost him?
Yeah.
I can't think of it. We know who you're talking about.
Yeah, but like them together, they just did a lot of like unique things with like the scheme to really get James Cook going. Like the way they set up holes worked perfect for his him with his cutbacks and his a lot of zone running, which is perfect for him. He's a patient, very quick burst guy, and that's what zone running works for. So it's just and him not being a receiver like that, and he just also doesn't get the attention like the other running backs do. Like in Atlanta, the focal point's Bijan, the focal point Detroit. I mean, you could also say Amon-Ra on the passing attack, but the focal point's Jameer. Focal point Saquon in Philly and McCaffrey in the Niners, Henry with the Ravens, Jonathan Taylor. But like the Bills, the focal point is Josh Allen. I mean, partly Henry, you could say the focal point, partly Lamar, but you also saw what Henry did in Tennessee. So like,
right.
James Cook has just never been like that focal point, so that's why it's like I think 7 weeks.
And he is playing with one of the more dangerous running quarterbacks in the history of the NFL.
Yeah.
So I mean, it does take some pressure off. You can't completely key in on him like you can with some guys. And we run a lot of like delay stuff too with him, which puts the defense kind of at on their heels a little bit. Where like Derrick Henry, when he starts to run towards the ball, like he's coming with a full head of steam. When he's getting the ball, so you can key everyone on him. You know what I mean? So that's kind of how I view him too. So yeah, you're probably right. I mean, I have him somewhere between, I think 7 is a low end, 5 high end is what I'd do. So he's in the right ballpark, I guess.
I would put him in like the 5 to 8 because I would also say Achan's in that tier, but then there's a drop off I think after Achan.
Yeah, Achan's got the other. Achan's size really is going to hinder him having a super long career. You know what I mean? Like he gets dinged up quite a bit.
Right now, though, he is just absolutely. He's probably the third most with the ball in his hands. He's probably the second or third most electric running back in the league.
Yeah,
like, Jameer's the most electric. I would probably say Bijan's a bit more but it's close.
Yeah, maybe.
And then it's like Achan, like that's the top 3 ball in their hand.
He's all explosion. So like, the thing with Devon and Achan that doesn't really scare me is that sometimes you play him and he disappears completely, and then other games he just lights you up, and I don't see that. Cook is much more consistent than him, in my opinion, as far as like you're going to know what you're pretty much getting from Cook game to game. Like his bad games might be like 60 yards, right? Versus Achan's bad games. I mean, he might have a 30-yard game, 40-yard game. Not, you know what I mean? Like people key on him, all of a sudden he shuts down.
I mean,
but he's a good. I mean, he's a good. I think
to be fair, part of that is probably because it's the Dolphins and
true. That's part of it.
Tua and their offensive line is complete dog shit outside of Aaron Brewer.
Yeah. Kenneth Walker, I think that's high.
It's a bit of projection, but I understand it. I understand it because like he just never really got the full workhorse role in Seattle because of Zach Charbonnet. It pissed me off so much. But like I guess the start of last season he was like, and then he dealt with some injuries. He was like a kind of a workhorse, and he was really dang good. Yeah. And then like injuries or whatever, they really like Sharp at the goal line. And then this year in the playoffs, he got the full workhorse opportunity again, and he was electric. So I get them looking at these small spurts where he is like the workhorse and he is really good. The question is, can his body hold up to being a workhorse?
He's a very north-south player. He's not going to like juke you out of your shoes or anything. Like you get him going north and south. He's got some explosiveness. He's not a great receiver. Like, I don't know. I'd rather Breece Hall if he's healthy, right? I'd rather Josh Jacobs if he's healthy.
Jacobs, I'll give you.
Yeah, Judkins, what I saw from him last year before he got hurt, I like him. But the problem is he got hurt almost immediately. So it's really hard to give him any credit there. That's probably it, though. Because there really isn't that many like elite running backs anymore in the league. Like there really just isn't that kind of.
After 8, there's kind of like that you just get good guys.
Yeah.
Like Kenneth Walker, Breece Hall, Josh Jacobs are good.
The rest of these lists are kind of disrespectful to Buffalo, in my opinion.
Oh my God. The cornerback list made me want to vomit. Because then are we on this? Okay.
Yeah, so I'm good. Pat Surtain's good with me. I don't have him as number 1, though. He's not my first best corner.
I have him as 1.
We've played against him a bunch of times. We don't ever have a problem passing the ball against him. But when we play freaking Stingley, he locks everyone up. Well, Stingley's by far my best corner. I don't care what anybody says. He scares me way more than Surtain does. The physicality is nuts.
Surtain scares me. The thing about Stingley is that he is just also in a better system. I mean, Denver has a good pass rush, but they don't have a Will Anderson and Danielle Hunter staring you down where Stingley can play more aggressive because those guys are just going to get to the quarterback so quickly.
Well, I mean, Denver led the league in sacks the last 2 years, though.
But I think part of that's because of their scheme, and I think that's based on Surtain. I think Stingley kind of plays based on the fact that he has those two, while Denver's pass rush plays in the fact that they have like Surtain just won a depoy kind of because of that.
Yeah.
But they're the top 2. They're the top 2.
Sure. Yeah, those are my top 2 for sure. I do not have Gonzalez as number 3.
I
think he's a good player.
Number 3.
You would?
That Super Bowl performance is one of the best I've ever seen.
Okay.
He was like the only player in the Patriots that showed up.
Witherspoon is more of a nickel corner, in my opinion. It's hard for me to put him on this list. Sorry. I don't know why that just happened. Oh,
I don't know. I mean, he was
shit. Hold on.
really, really good last year. I mean, not he's a nickel, but he plays a lot of boundary because they do have a big nickel there with why am I blanking on his name? The rookie from last year that they out of South Carolina.
Hold up. I don't know what happened here. Hold on real quick.
But anyways, Witherspoon does play on the outside a decent amount when they put Emin Wari in that big nickel role. And I mean, Witherspoon plays fine there. It's kind of similar with the fifth on the list with McDuffie. He kind of is a versatile move around.
Why did my hold on real quick, dude? Give me 2 seconds. I got my screen got jacked up. I don't know what happened here. Get rid of this. Okay. Give me 2 seconds here. Yeah, I don't know why this happened to me. Give me 2 seconds, dude. I just when I share I have my screen on my other. Well, I was on my other screen and somehow I shrunk it down by accident. I don't know what was going on with that. Okay, I'm back now. Witherspoon, what were you just saying about Witherspoon?
I was saying Witherspoon plays a decent amount on the outside because they put Emin Wari as that big nickel.
I guess he'll be playing on the outside more often
now that without Tariq Woolen.
Yeah. McDuffie. I think McDuffie's one of the more overrated corners in the league. I mean, I'd rather have Christian Benford than McDuffie. He literally is to me a slot only corner. I don't value him on the outside at all. I think he's fine. I just don't think he's anything that I think they overpaid for him in Los Angeles. He doesn't scare me at all. Like we go against him, like, okay, like he's just a dude to me. Like he's a good player.
I think this is. I mean, I take Benford over him as well, but I'd also take Benford over every other player on this list. I think except for one.
Quinyon,
maybe two. Quinyon was elite last year, but it's also kind of like Philadelphia has an extremely talented front four. Like when you have these elite front fours, front sevens, and the corners can play a little more aggressive because they're like the defense is going to get home. The pass rush is going to get home.
See, Denzel Ward for me is one of the more underrated players in the league for me. You know,
I think 7's a good ranking for him.
Probably, but I like him more than I do McDuffie.
I don't. I like McDuffie more. I think McDuffie played really good the last 2 years on the outside.
J.C. Horn, he's
fine. I see. This is where I think J.C. Horn. I think this past year he was elite. He was absolutely shut down this year. Yeah. He struggled before that, but he really broke out this year. That was probably the player where I might take over Benford. Yeah.
Okay.
Like I'd put J.C.
Somebody ranked him. Somebody ranked him third. Somebody ranked him second or third. Hold on. Somebody had him third, highest ranking.
Honestly, I could understand that. That's how good he was last year. Sauce. This is your reputation alone. He was. Yeah, that's what we're talking about.
Some people had him unranked. And the Cooper DeJean, I think this is super high for him. That's a joke. Highest third. Like, give me a break, dude. I'm sorry. Yeah. He's not a boundary corner.
So then you look at the honorable mentions. Lassiter,
I'd have him there. 10. Absolutely. Yeah, Joe Porter Jr. I'd probably have top 10. AJ Terrell. Like, I like him more than him. Like,
Jalen Johnson.
Flip a lot of these guys out. Jalen Johnson's a great player. There are a lot of good corners.
Absolutely sickening. Read the other also receiving votes.
No, not Christian Benford's not on there.
Look at one of the names on there.
Kool-Aid McKinstry. Are you freaking kidding me, dude?
Look at the next one.
Hunter. These guys have done nothing in the league. I mean, all these guys. Look at
Travis Hunter and Kool-Aid McKinstry over Christian Benford.
You would take.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Next year when
DJ Turner.
Yeah, next year when Bengals fans tell you your defense is so much better than ours while we lose, tell them no. You have DJ Turner and we have Christian Benford.
Deron Bland. Are you fucking kidding me?
This is pathetic. That's a bad. This
list is like the only one that I can be like, all right, I can understand it. But
Benford can come out this year and just freaking do his thing. I'd be pissed. That was a joke. That's the worst list I've seen.
Yeah.
The top 5 or 6 are fine interchangeably, right? After that, though, like it gets kind of like a shit show, you know? Like there's a lot of good players,
but yeah, they have the top 6 to 10 should be like honorable mentions, like 6 through 10 should be like honorable mentions, and then the honorable mentions should be in the top 10. But then also receiving votes, and no Christian Benford. What did they just not watch the game against the Bengals last year? That was probably the best cornerback performance in recent memory, if we're being honest. I'd probably say number 2 of the year, only behind the guy from Minnesota when he faced the Bengals, but the Bengals with Jake Browning when he had like 2 pick sixes or he had 2 defensive touchdowns or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But Benford, he played a perfect game. He literally
Yeah.
is him and Josh were basically the only reason the Bills won that game.
I think he's probably fundamentally. I think he's one of the more fundamentally. I think you said like who's the most fundamentally sound corners in the league. I would have put Christian Benford in the top 5.
I'd put him
fundamentals. Yeah, like
I'd
just
put him
straight
only
up
behind
fundamentals.
Sertan and Stingley. I'd put him
Yeah.
number 3. Benford just lacks a
crazy.
little bit of his athleticism, but he makes up for it because he is so fundamentally good. And you can beat him, but you don't actually beat him because his trail technique is so good. He just makes plays in the ball.
He's never
finds it
completely out of the position. You know what I mean?
and
he's able.
He's able to. He's really good at that skill of getting kind of a bit of PI without it looking like PI, like just timing up that hit on the arm like a half a second early where you can't really notice it. It looks like it's the same time, but it makes it so hard to catch. And then he's also known for a couple big plays every year. He's going to get you a couple picks. He's going to punch out a fumble or two. He can blitz well. Like, it is an absolute joke that he continues to get disrespect because people think he's a system zone corner. He is. And look at his numbers when he's in man.
Yeah, he's really good.
Against the Falcons, Drake London had a big game, but and like 16 coverage snaps of man coverage against Drake London, Christian Benford held Drake London to 0 catches. He had nothing. He literally got absolutely shut down. They had to throw him in the slot against our safeties and terrible linebackers. They had to move London off Benford because he actually locked him down, and then London went off elsewhere.
The fact that he got no votes and Kool-Aid McKinstry was on that list.
Travis Hunter was on that.
But McKinstry, we victimized the whole time we played them last year.
Like Travis Hunter, I think has played less than 100 career snaps at corner.
Yeah, at least you could say with him like there's some more potential there. McKinstry we took advantage of him last year in our game. I think Keon Coleman was beating him up. It's just not. It doesn't make any sense, but whatever. Yeah. It's a name recognition thing. Myles Garrett, number 1, that's fine. Everybody knows that's fine. Micah Parsons too. That's fine, I guess. I would prefer Will Anderson over him personally. That's just me.
I think Micah makes more of an impact because, like Will Anderson, you also have Danielle Hunter. Last year Micah was really good against the run.
Well,
Micah was elite against the run last year. But look at Green Bay's defense when he went down. They were a top 5 unit and they were a bottom 10 unit the minute he got injured.
They didn't get another sack all year when he left.
Yeah, their defense completely fell apart without him.
Max Crosby 4. I'm fine with those top 4. Maybe it is age too. Like Aiden Hutchinson, I feel like Aiden's been when he plays is much more impactful now than he gets credit for. So maybe I'd flip those two probably. Hunter 6. That's probably okay. TJ Watt, I think he's fading. I think TJ Watt should be lower on this list now. I do not fear him when we watch him play. I'm not. Nick Bosa the same way. I don't feel him anymore. He's hurt.
Nick Bosa, his problem is just injury. But when he is on the field, he is elite. He just can't stay healthy.
Yeah, Brian Burns, underrated. I think Brian Burns should be closer to his highest ranking of 6, 7, something like that.
I don't know about that because Brian Burns got the pleasure of playing next to Dexter Lawrence, eating all those double teams.
We'll see how that
giving
looks.
Him that single. Like the Giants had a really good like pass rush defensive line last year, so it kind of gave Burns a lot of one-on-ones that he was able to take advantage of. But
Nick Bonito 10. I'm fine with that, I guess. Jared Verse. I think Jared Verse is very underrated. Trey Hendrickson, super overrated. Josh Hines-Allen. I think they said it right.
I think he should have been a top 10 guy. I'd take Hines-Allen at this point over TJ Watt. I'd probably take him over Nick Bonito as well.
Not elite, but consistently good every. Yeah, I think that's.
You can count him in for about 12-ish sacks a year.
Yep, and then I didn't expect to have anybody on our list from that one because it just until something else happens, we're not going to be on that list.
Next year, things will be changed. There'll at least be others receiving votes. Greg Rousseau's name will be on there next year. I can guarantee that.
We'll see.
It's happening.
Leonard Williams. Okay. That's
over
fine.
Jeffrey Simmons is criminal.
That's kind of a little criminal. Yeah.
Jeffrey's
his age.
Jeffrey Simmons is, I think, by far and away the best interior defensive lineman.
He just does a little bit of everything, and he's so good at all. Like I do think
he has no
Chris
weaknesses.
Jones. Jalen Carter, who didn't have as good of a year last year, right? But
the year before that,
but the talent is through the roof.
Yeah.
Like he's like not Aaron Donald, but like couple shades away from that kind of player. And I
Imagine
like
if
that.
Aaron Donald does come back for the Rams. Though.
Jeez,
Oh
that'd
my
be
God.
awful. I would hate myself. I mean, maybe he's falling. He looks jacked.
I would just tell
still, so he's gonna
Josh,
be in shape.
Josh, just stay home and take care of your kid that week.
He's 37 years old though. So, Chris Jones, I guess I don't think he's as good as he once was. I
think
him
it's
closer
kind
to
of
10.
Yeah, I think that's
Somebody
a lot
put
of
him
name
1.
recognition.
Somebody ranked him 1. That's crazy.
Probably
That's
the same
nuts.
person who put on Travis Hunter for votes.
Yeah, Derek Brown, super underrated player.
Yeah, I'd put
I'm fine
Derek
with that.
Brown at number like 3.
Yeah, he's
I'd
really
put him behind
freaking
Jalen
good.
Carter and Chris Jones.
Quentin Williams has fallen off the last
Yeah.
couple years, in my opinion.
He made a pretty nice. He was really well. He fell off, but then last year he got back to it. He was really good. I don't think he's putting up the pass rush numbers, but he is elite against the run still.
Yeah, Dexter Lawrence, we'll probably disagree on this. I think he's showing some signs of age, but we'll see what he does this year when he gets a little better situation.
Yeah, I think a lot of that was also just the.
He's not that old. He's 28 years old, so
I think Simon's a good job.
Yeah, Zach Allen. I'm
That's
fine
a
with
valid
this.
spot. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's fine. I think he's a really underrated. Milton Williams, I think, is way too freaking high. I just don't think he's that impactful. I think he's a good like 3-tech, like reserve, like your second best player in your line kind of player. I just don't see him being like this like game wrecker. He doesn't.
I mean, honestly, that's now that I think about it. Yeah, I don't think he is the best. I don't even think he's the best defensive tackle on his team. I think Christian Barmore is better than him.
Yeah, when he's healthy, for sure.
Yeah.
Jordan Davis,
way too high.
Yeah, like I don't agree with that at all. I don't know where that came from.
Yeah,
you got Byron Murphy. I think he's too low.
I think Byron Murphy should have been top 10.
Yeah, DeForest Buckner. Okay, I guess.
Yeah.
Vita Vea. Yeah. Ed Oliver got the last one to receive a vote. Now, I don't think Oliver deserves to be on a top 10 list. I think he's right on the hedge of that tier.
Yeah, he deserves like the honorable mention to receive votes.
He should be in those 4.
Yeah, when he is healthy, I think he's finally starting to show how much of an impact he can make when he's healthy. It's just the injuries. I mean, you saw it 2 years ago or 3 years ago. He was 3 years ago. He was like
8 sacks. 9 sacks.
I thought he should have been he should have got some All-Pro votes. Like he was absolutely elite. And then last year, or 2 years ago, he took kind of a step back, but then still had those flashes. And then last year, and the 2 games he did play, he was like playing like the best defensive player in football.
Well, when he's a top 10 D tackle and one of the top probably 5 3-techs in the league when he is healthy. And he shows that consently. The problem
when he is healthy and gets competent nose tackle,
doesn't stay healthy.
And competent nose tackle play next to him. Like when he was that year where he was absolutely insane. That was before Daquan Jones turned into dog shit Jones.
Yeah. Brock Bowers, we don't have a problem with that, right?
I think he is better than McBride. I think last year injury and just it being a shit show in
McBride,
Vegas.
Yeah. I mean, that's probably the
that's
top
your
2.
1-2. Kittle,
I feel like is a little bit. I mean, he's fine. I don't know if we'd put him 3rd though. Sam Laporta, this is way too high for Sam Laporta.
Yeah.
He had one great year, and he hasn't done nearly that since then. Yeah. And when he plays, we're going to use the same logic for him and Dalton Kincaid. When Kincaid's on the field, his advanced analytics have him ranked consistently in the top 2 tight ends in the league when he plays, right? And per snap, right? Sam Laporta, the argument's going to be here, and I could probably guess, is that because of injuries and things like that. I mean, okay, like we could say the same thing about Dalton Kincaid. When they're both at their best, I think Kincaid's better. I don't think Laporta deserves to be in the top 10.
Someone had him ahead Kittle.
Yeah, that's crazy to me, dude. I'd have him unranked. Sure. I think he's a fine player when he's healthy, but he should be behind Ty Warren for sure, in my opinion. Tyler Warren's a really good all-around tight end, in my opinion. Tucker Kraft for sure.
Yeah,
like, why is he ahead of Tucker Kraft?
I love
Colston Loveland, dude. I know it's just 1 year, but damn, man, like he looked really freaking good last year. Pitts, I don't know.
I mean, Pitts was really good last year.
He was fine. I mean, he had how many? Did we know his stat line last year?
I think he was like, at fantasy wise, I think he finished as tight end 2.
Oh, did he?
Only behind McBride. Like
he had a disappointment till this.
He had a great end of the year.
Yeah. Mark Andrews, I think this is too high now. I think that he's fallen
4?
off. 4 was the highest. That's
someone
crazy.
Thought
and Travis Kelce, come on, dude. Come on, man.
Actually, no. Travis Kelce was actually pretty decent last year.
He's okay. He is. I mean, they said it. He's got a good route savvy. I like his routes.
I
I
would
think they're
give
pretty
Kelsey
good. So
around 10th. He was actually pretty decent last year.
right now, I'd rather have Dalton Kincaid over Travis Kelsey. Right now, I'd rather have Dalton Kincaid over a couple of these guys.
But I mean, Kincaid just can't stay healthy is his problem. So I get why he's down there. Travis Kelsey had 76 catches for 850 yards last year. I mean, for a tight end, that's pretty good number.
I'd take Kincaid over. That's good numbers. Yeah, I'd take Kincaid over Kelsey. I'm sorry, Andrews for sure.
I take him over Pitts,
maybe not Kyle Pitts just because he came back. If he didn't have a good year last year, definitely. Colson, Loveland, probably not because Colson looked really good last year.
Kraft.
I
take him over Laporta.
Not Ty Warren now until he does.
And then not the top 3.
And that's not top 3. Yeah. So I'd have Kincaid like 8.
Yeah, but it's just can Kincaid stay healthy?
Yeah, that's
Kincaid. If he stays healthy, I could end up being in the top 5 next year. It's that possible.
Okay, this is where I have the most egregious problem with these rankings, right?
Well,
they ranked us recently. Go ahead.
I gotta let you know my computer's about to die. I'm joining on my phone though, so
that's fine. Yeah. I mean, I can handle it if you drop off. This is where I have the major problems. Is that when it comes to the offensive line, we were ranked. They keep telling us how great our offensive line is. We got ranked, I think, 3rd as our total offensive line. I think it was by ESPN. I can't remember who it was. Like, we're consistently being ranked in top 5. Yet we have no one on these lists in the top 10. It doesn't make any sense to me. Like, Penei Sewell, okay. We can all argue Trent Williams, okay. We're not ahead of those guys. Tristan Wirfs, no. We're probably not ahead of those guys. Jordan Mailata, no. Larry Thompson, no. Okay. So this is the top 5, I think, for most people. This is where I have problems. Darnell Wright, I don't have any. Oh, hold on. Let me jump Miley in really quick. Add to stage. I'll remove this one. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. This is where I start having the problem with it. Like, you're going to tell me that Darnell Wright, to me, is better than Deion Dawkins? I just don't buy it. I just don't think that's the case.
Last year, here's my thing on it. If they did left tackle rankings and right tackle rankings and Deion or Spencer Brown weren't on it, then I would be frustrated. But I think the fact that you have it's just 10 tackles overall. Because if we're like Deion and Spencer Brown, I think they're both top 10 tackles at their position. Sure. But I wouldn't say they're top 5, and you'd have to kind of be top 5 to make this list.
That's true. Lane Johnson's on the list still.
Here's the thing. Deion made honorable mention, and Spencer Brown did get votes. So
yeah. Andrew Thomas, I think this is too low for him.
Yeah.
I don't know why he'd be
Wright, I think Darnell Wright was an All-Pro last year.
He was. I just don't see it in him. But I mean, I could be wrong. Maybe I could be convinced.
Last year he really broke out. Before that he struggled. Last year he
broke out. Alt would be higher if he wasn't hurt last couple of years, dinged up. Garrett Bowles, I think he's a really underrated player.
Yeah.
So like then you got Rashawn Slater, Charles Cross, Darisaw, Deion Dawkins. I mean, I think what they said about Deion, a solid starter, plays with an edge, can be good in both phases, and shows inconsistent effort. I think that's probably right, but I think he's a level up from that. I think he's a level higher than that. When he's really on his game, he is definitely in the top 10 in my opinion. When he's like playing his best.
Oh yeah, he's a lockdown left tackle. You might be. He's
more than a solid starter. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's how I.
And saying he can play well on both sides, I think, isn't fair because like when he is on, he is one of the best pure pass protectors in the league.
Yeah.
Like he absolutely locks down Josh's backside.
And Paris Johnson Jr. I mean, it says error pointed up, but like I haven't seen anything from him that tells me he should be in this conversation.
To be fair, it is the Cardinals.
I know, but I still don't see it. Like, I don't know. I see Rashawn Slater, of course, Charles Cross, of course, Darisaw even. I think Darisaw's getting kind of old, of course. But like, I just felt like it's a little bit disrespectful there. I think the interior O-line is even worse.
Yeah.
Because this is where I kind of was like, okay, this is the last category that's out.
Yeah, that sounds right. Because we started with
Tyler Smith. Are we sure Tyler Smith is the number 1 guard in the NFL?
It's guards plus center. It's all 3 positions.
Yeah, somebody had him unranked, and then highest was 1. It had to be more than 1.
I think it should have been Creed Humphrey should have been 1.
Sure, Quentin Nelson. And they're 2 and 3. These are my 2 favorite, Quentin Nelson and Creed Humphrey. I think that's fine. I don't think you can put any of our guys in that tier. And, you know, with the unknown, with Alec Anderson being probably a first-year starter, I get it, right? Osiris Torrance, I get it, right? But I thought that Connor McGovern's played like a top 3 center in the NFL the last few years.
I would say
Quinn
top
Miners,
5. I wouldn't say he's better than Creed or Aaron Brewer. Probably Tyler Linderbaum's maybe.
Oh, man, Aaron Brewer's been good recently. I don't feel like I don't know. Maybe you're right.
Brewer was an all-pro.
He made all-pro, yeah. Joe Thuney, I think that's pretty
Yeah, that's
obvious. Lindstrom,
yeah, that's pretty fair.
fine. Trey Smith, pretty fair, I guess.
I might
Linderbaum.
McGovern over.
I think Linderbaum is one of the more overrated centers in the league, but whatever. He didn't deserve that kind of contract, in my opinion.
Well, I
definitely
think
not Creed
Vegas
Humphrey.
just had that money to spend because by the
And they
time
did
they're
it.
going to have to pay anyone important,
Yeah.
let Linderbaum be a free agent. Like we really need him.
Skoronsky. Somebody had him number 1 at one point, like the highest ranking. That's a little crazy. And then Aaron Brewer's 10, right?
Yeah, I think Aaron Brewer's fair.
We did get McGovern with some votes.
Yeah, but the fact that he got some votes and like Robert Hunt, Elton Jenkins,
And Elton Jenkins. Yeah, exactly. Like I
like
feel like
Gray
he's a better player
Zabel,
than
I
this guy.
get that. Gray Zabel was great last year. Tyler Booker was great. Both of them are great as rookies. I get that.
Right.
But I also think part of the reason why our offensive line is ranked so good as a unit is because look at a lot of these. They also have a lot of these teams will have like 2 or 3 really good, and then they'll have some like bad holes. And your offensive line is one of those like it's as good as your worst player is. Like if you have a major weakness on your offensive line, teams can just attack that. We just don't have that. We were just solid across the board. Like maybe with like the question mark with Alec Anderson being new, but I mean obviously this is due champion, so that's not true. Alec Anderson is amazing. I actually I don't know if you filled it out, but when Jim had the top 30 valuable Bills assets, I had Alec Anderson in my top 30. I think he is going to be like worth like a 3rd round pick. I had him below the 3rd round picks.
I didn't do that. Sometimes like I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I have like a miss with this kind of stuff, but like when we get too like specific with things like who are the top 30 assets stuff kind of thing, to me that's kind of like I don't know. I get kind of lost in the sauce with it, like
I struggled to make it, but like they asked me to, and I'm like, this could be fun. I kind of took me a bit. I had to like go through some things. I changed things around. I looked at theirs to kind of as like a reference point almost.
Yeah. I don't even know, like, for me, like, when I start thinking about, like, hypothetical things, right, like that, I only think of things hypothetically when I actually think it's going to be potential.
Yeah, like, in the moment, it's like, all right, is this good value or not? But, yeah, it's hard to,
It's like, what would you give up for Josh Allen? I'm like, nothing. I don't care. Like, I lose interest when I do that. Like, it's like, asking what the hypothetically we'd look like if Bijan Robinson was our running back. Like, I don't know, and it's never going to happen.
Pretty cool.
Be cool, yeah, but it's not even worth thinking about.
The only time I can get a Josh Allen, Bijan Robinson QB running back do was on my dynasty team.
Yeah. I mean,
I do have that on one of my dynasty teams, and it's awesome.
Did you watch any? Before we go, did you watch any of the NBA Summer League?
No.
Caleb Wilson looks good. You were right.
Yeah, but
he looked great.
Yeah, if this was like any other year, he would have been like the first or second pick.
I agree. And in fact,
I don't think he was like the prospect where he would have been like a surefire number 1 and others, but he would have been like a top 2. It's just this year you had 3 guys that would go number 1 in most years.
Sure, and I think the problem with him is that in college and in high school too, he was never had to be utilized as a 3-point shooter. He shot 33s all of college, right?
He made 7 in college, and he made
7 other night, right?
Yeah.
So like the form is strong. Like this is the way I look when I play basketball in high school. It's like you can teach somebody who has good form how to be a better shooter.
Yeah.
But if somebody doesn't have good form, it's really hard to change. Like it's really hard to like make drastic changes with your shooting stroke to make them actually good at what they do if they're not good at it already. Because you have some funky shooters that are good shooters, but most of the time, like that form will tell me like there's some development here that can happen. And he has a good stroke. The ball handling was better than I thought it was going to be too. I think if he shot like that, not like that, because you can't shoot 7 for 11, but if he was shooting like, I don't know, 2 for 5 every game in college, right? Like 40%.
He might have been above Boozer.
Yeah, I think he might have been actually even higher.
I don't think he would have ever been. I don't think he ever would have been above Debanza because, like,
Debanza. He kind of checks that. Like, I don't know.
He doesn't have like a weakness really.
Yeah, he's tall, athletic. He's got kind of like a Paul George thing going on.
He's extremely known as like an insanely hard worker.
Yeah.
insanely talented. Like he can do everything, and like
Yeah.
he does, everything well. Like
Where Caleb's like, I don't really agree with the Kevin Garnett comps. They say that a lot. I see more of like a well, now I see something completely different because his ball handling and his shooting looked so much cleaner.
maybe
in his
like
past game.
you like combining old Brooke Lopez with the new Brooke Lopez.
No, like
Old
almost
Brooke
like
Lopez, if he had that 3-point shot, man, like
yeah, like he's almost like he did compare himself in the draft to Kawhi Leonard. He's bigger than Kawhi by a couple inches.
I don't know if I'd say he's Kawhi.
Yeah, he's got some similar stylistic things that
I just
go
don't
with Kawhi.
like. I think Caleb Williams is a really good defender. He's not the perimeter defender Kawhi is.
No. And Kawhi is a true small forward.
Yeah.
And I see Caleb as a tweener. He can play 3 and 4 based on what I saw this week. And dude, summer league defense is no joke. They don't play.
Those players are playing. They're playing for their hearts.
They play full court in your face. They can get 10 fouls. They don't care. So like the physicality of this game, it was hard to watch because it was so disjointed with all these like this craziness with the fouls and the close defenses. I'm like used to watching the NBA where no one really plays really hard defense, or
except for in the playoffs.
In the playoffs, right? And it wasn't even. It was more intense than that. Like the playoff defense, they still only pick you up at half court most of the time,
Yeah.
So like it's a good test run for some of these guys. You can't expect 35 points a night, but I mean,
I heard good things about A-Cup, which is nice because I gave up a lot to get him.
A-Cup's question was always just going to be size and defense.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, and that's where it's like in fantasy that don't mean shit really. So
it does
I'm
not.
Like, when I made this trade, when I made the trade to get to the 105, my friend thought I was drunk because he didn't understand how good this draft class was. He's like, "Is a 105? Are you drunk?" And I'm like, "Nah, you just don't." A-Cup would be a top 3 pick in other years, probably.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And
he's like the next Trae Young. Maybe not as bad defensively because like no one's as bad defensively
he's thicker.
as Trae Young, but
he's also stronger and thicker than Trae Young.
Yeah, but
better
like
size
that's a good comp. Like he's got that offensive skill set, but like the size and defensive concern.
He's a better penetrator, gets to the hoop better. Maybe not quite the shooter that Trae Young was, but still a good shooter.
And he's not quite the playmaker like Trae Young is. Like,
but he's way more in control. His body's in way more. He has way more body control, in my opinion, than Trae. Trae Young's he's so slight,
Yeah.
Where I think A-Cup's got a lot more like actual like physical strength, like contact balance, so to speak. So people are comparing him to Allen Iverson. I don't see that. I think I see where they're getting it from, but he's not that kind of athlete. Like Allen Iverson, people don't realize how good, like he was listed at 6 foot, but he's probably 5'10", and he was dunking on people. Like he's in like quickness, handles, vertical, like he had all those things. He was a volume shooter, but he was just a different type of guy, A-Cup's not that, but I think that's a fine pick.
I tried to find a way to get Caleb Wilson because funny enough, I traded up to the 105. The dude who's the 106 is a Kings fan.
Yeah.
So after they drafted A-Cup, I told him, I'm like, I'm taking A-Cup at the 105. I was hoping he'd jump up ahead of me to the 104. He was trying to. He was even trying to. He told me he was trying, but the guy wanted too much because I'm like, yeah, you could take A-Cup. I want Caleb Wilson. I was just also fine with A-Cup. That's why I wanted the 105. But then he tried texting me. He's like, what do you want for A-Cup? I'm like, did you see how much I gave up for this pick? I'm not trading it. You have to beat that offer. And Jay's like, yeah, no.
Yeah, and Caleb is going to get a lot of playing time. He's going to play a lot. We don't have a power forward worth
That's
playing.
A pretty good wing duo that the Bulls got for the future. It's just what are they going to do at center and guard?
Well, Nick Claxton's playing center.
Oh yeah, I forgot they traded for Clax. Yeah, I like
it's
Claxton.
Okay.
But yeah, their guard situation's a little rough right now.
It's Giddey, who's a high draft pick that he
puts up good numbers on bad teams, but he literally completely fell out of OKC's playoff rotation the first year they made the playoffs because he can't play defense and he's an inefficient passer. He makes a lot of flashy passes and puts up numbers, but he also has bad turnover numbers.
Well, Westbrook was the same way, right? A more athletic version, but you see him with triple doubles every night and it doesn't impact the game.
But the thing is, Westbrook was also like a high effort defender. where he's like you could keep him in the game and was like he could take over the game scoring even if inefficient. Giddy's never taking over the game scoring.
No. I'm saying it's a poor man's less athletic version, in my opinion. Like Giddy gets effort on the defensive end. He's just not athletic enough to keep up with smaller guards.
Yeah.
Now we got Jerome Powell at shooting guard now. So that's
okay.
He made the All-Star team.
Norman Powell, yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Norman Powell. He's 32 years old. He's a good shooter, and he made the All-Star team. But I mean, we'll see. We're probably a play-in team.
Yeah,
that's how I look at it. I mean, if they all hit their ceiling, like if Modest takes another step, and he's a 22 points a game scorer,
it could be like a competitive first-round exit.
Yeah, I think so. Like if Modest plays up to if he takes another step, he was 17 a game last year. If he gets to like 22, and then Caleb Wilson comes in and gets to maybe first year gets 20 points a game, right?
Yeah, with him being a great defender and rebounder.
Yeah, and then Norm Powell gets 20, and then you got 15.
Yeah, and then
Claxton gets 10.
And you have a good perimeter. You have a good interior defense for the first time in forever with Claxton and Caleb Wilson.
Yeah, exactly. So that was what we were missing the last few years. Is there's just no rim protection at all.
Yeah, you probably do have to look future though for guards because Giddy and Norman Powell.
I was never against taking Acuff in the first 4 picks, but I know he's not the prospect Caleb is. But I would have been in most drafts if you gave us Acuff in the top 4. I've been like, all right, that's good.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? I would have been happy.
This draft is just absolutely so loaded.
Oh, this is the best draft I've seen in. I don't know.
This is the greatest freshman class in the history of college basketball.
Yeah,
literally almost every single player, every single lottery pick was freshman.
Yeah,
true freshman too.
True
with
freshman.
The top, who was the first
Wagler?
Crazy.
Wagler?
Wagler wasn't a freshman?
I think he was a late bloomer. I think he's a sophomore. I'm not 100% sure though.
He might have. And then probably the Michigan guy that was taken at 9 on their center.
Oh yeah, Morris.
Who I drafted in
Johnson.
I traded Kobe White and got the 112 and Kristaps Porzingis, and then I drafted Morris Johnson with it because I needed some center depth.
Yeah, Wagler looked bad in his first 2 games in debut. Come on, Illinois, but he had only 1 year. He was a freshman as well. You're right.
Yeah, so I think the only lottery picks that weren't freshmen were the Michigan guys.
Yeah. I think so.
Landenberg and then Morris Johnson. Because Amen, he's a freshman. The top 8 were all freshmen.
Mara was
Mara. Well, he was from Michigan. He was from Michigan, right?
Yeah, Mara's another Michigan guy. He's a big tall kid.
He was one of the 3 Michigan. So I think it was literally just Michigan and then
he's gonna be great for OKC. That's a great pick.
Yeah, I think because they needed. That's a perfect
He's a lot more athletic than he gets credit for too.
Isaiah Heitenstein replacement because they're not going to be able to really afford to bring him back, and just to help stop Wemby.
Yep, exactly. All right, I think that's it.
Yeah.
Oh wait, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. All right, like, share, subscribe. We'll see you next Monday.
For the best Italian food in Western New York, El Little Palos, call 716-825-3675. The Lardon Construction Group.
Fubo TV, the official streaming service of Do Champions. FanDuel, the official sportsbook of Do Champions.
For all your summertime needs, beauty pools, as well as kayak pools.
CX Chronicles, your total customer solutions focused manager. W.GG, the official energy drink of Do Champions.
Hey, Sons of Erie, our artwork looks better on your walls. Hamburg Brewing, please visit our tap room on Boston State Road, Hamburg, New York. And finally,
Fat Boy Surf Club for all your surfing needs.